Two semi-finals on the way for the first three. Two heats coming up, 6 athletes each.
2 semi-finals to come in the men's 400 metres. No non-automatic qualifiers. First 3 from each coming back for the big one. Julien Watrin, brilliant performance in qualification. 3 times he's taken relay golds in the European Champs, twice indoors, once outdoors. Marqueze Washington, a relay silver 4 years ago. He's here because Donovan Brazier said no thanks. Could he capitalise on the opportunity? Jereem Richards, bronze in the 200 in London 5 years ago, 10th fastest in the world indoors this year over the 400. I think he could go really well. Benjamin Vedel, 5th in the Youth Olympics a few years ago. His dad's an excellent 800-metre runner. Could that strength in the genes help him get round in the top 3? Mikhail Litvin, the Asian Championship bronze medalist, with an excellent run in the heats to make the semi-finals. And Kajetan Duszyński of Poland, a 44.3 leg, helping his nation win the first mixed relay gold last year in Tokyo. The 2 men to watch, in theory, will be Jereem Richards of Trinidad and Tobago in 4, Marqueze Washington just outside him in 5, and Watrin of Belgium ran very well in the heats this morning to make the semis. Top 3 are coming back for the final. Richards of Trinidad and Tobago starts in lane 4.
Set.
Clean start. Washington trying to get up onto the shoulder of Watrin very quickly, but look how smooth Jereem Richards is down that back straight. Nothing to separate the leading trio, and Richards now coming up onto the shoulder of Washington, and he looks quite relaxed. He takes the all-important inside line. Watrin tried to find the acceleration over that last 15 metres or so before the bell, but it is the Trinidad and Tobago Jereem Richards from Watrin. Washington trying to come through on the inside. Remember, it's only the first 3, and Vedel of Denmark trying to get in the mix. Watrin is beginning to tie up, so too Washington. Richards with a brilliant piece of qualification. Richards from Vedel, very, very good indeed by the Norwegian, the Dane, who does indeed show a little bit of his father's 800-metre strength. But how good was Jereem Richards there? Stepped up to the 400. He always looked like a 400 runner, even when he had success at the 200. Brilliant run from the Trinidadian.
Jereem Richards just able to find that tiny bit of extra speed into the bell. I thought it was a good decision from Julien Watrin to not get involved in that tussle, to maintain his momentum but conserve some energy. You can see Marqueze Washington here just sneaking up the inside. That's a valid move for me for Marqueze Washington. There was space, but it really threw Julien Watrin. He suddenly thought there's someone on my inside, and all of a sudden it was all going wrong for the athlete from Belgium, because Vedel was coming hard on the outside for Denmark. Jereem Richards looking comfortable, Vedel timing his kick to perfection, and Marqueze Washington really reacting well to the pressure around him to hold on to that automatic qualifying spot.
Oh, a little bit of a shove there from the muscly American, trying to push Watrin of Belgium slightly out into lane 2 to make sure he had the room. Richards looking left, looking right again. No problem for him. Vedel was over the moon with that qualification. Watch the Dane's reaction as he crosses the line. Richards was as cool as a cucumber. For him, it was never in doubt. And Washington hanging on for that 3rd automatic spot. Watrin disappointed on the line. Jereem Richards just might be the favourite for this final on the evidence of that performance. Vedel came through late and timed it really well. Washington, the 3rd automatic qualifier.
Jereem Richards has just got such a ceiling with that 200-metre speed. He's done sub-20 outdoors for 200 metres, so coming through fast like that on that first lap isn't going to take too much out of him, and he's really using that to his advantage so far today. It'll be interesting to see whether he can maintain that into the final with some of the other athletes that like to get themselves involved in that first lap tussle. But so far, so good for Jereem Richards. But we have got the second semi-final for the men's 400 metres. Carl Bengtström of Sweden, perhaps better known as a 400 hurdler, but maybe he's as good over the flat. Won his heat looking really smooth, second fastest out of all the qualifiers, 46.45. Lane 5 will go to Patrik Šorm, who did what they call in the Czech Republic a Pavel Maslak in his heat, leading it from gun to tape. Lane 4, Trevor Bassitt. He ran a really conservative race for me in his heat, saved that energy. I'd like to see him lift in this semi-final. Hate to see him miss out. He's run so fast this season. In lane 3 will be Christopher Taylor. He was second in heat 5, the Jamaican. Bit of elbow barging with the man in lane 1, which we'll meet in a moment. But Boško Kijanović, the Serbian athlete in front of his home crowd, he really lifted the roof, lifted the noise in this stadium with his back straight effort in his heat. Watch out for him in the last 150 metres. Hortelano-Roig from Spain held on well for non-automatic qualifying mark in his heat after a bit of a tussle with Jamaica's Christopher Taylor. I'm sure neither of them will want to get involved in that again. And just a reminder, it's the first 3 automatically through to tomorrow's final.
You got long at the end. Turn it over, man. Still give you a little room. Back up 6. All right? Put it down at the end.
Set.
Bit of unrest in the crowd, but all the athletes being super professional there, just sticking to their task. And Bengtström's gone off hard on the outside. This Bassitt has as well. Bassitt working his way up on Šorm. The 3 on the outside, really going for it, really trying to battle their way to the break. Keep your eye on the Jamaican Christopher Taylor trying to make a move on the inside, but it will be Sweden's Bengtström just by half a stride. He was in the lead to the bell and he's gone, cutting slightly across the Americans, Bassitt. But Bassitt is back into his running. But look at the Serbian athlete. He's moving from 6th to 5th. You can hear the roar. I think he might run out of track, but he gave it a valiant effort. It will be Sweden's Carl Bengtström, coming away for the first automatic qualifying spot. Trevor Bassitt coming second, and Patrik Šorm of the Czech Republic holding on for 3rd. Bengtström looked in control from start to finish there.
It was a good run by Bengtström. Chris Taylor disappointed to have to pull up. But when we see Bengtström coming across to take the bell, the amount of momentum it took out of Trevor Bassitt, that was the moment the Jamaican had to pull up, and that was a real shame for the former world youth champion. But watch here, Bengtström comes across, he does just about have the line, and look how much momentum the American instantly loses. He did really well to regather himself and ensure he came home in 2nd place, around 1/3 of a second behind the Swede.
He really did. For me, if Bassitt had pushed on for another 3 or 4 strides, I don't think Carl Bengtström would have been able to get past him. So perhaps it was a race plan, you know, don't fight for that lead, don't expend energy, you know, fighting with someone only halfway through the race. But Trevor Bassitt, you're right, it did knock his momentum a tiny bit. But for me, he's running slightly conservatively this morning, perhaps slightly conservatively this evening as well. Trevor Bassitt could be one to watch in that final. He's not shown us his full capabilities yet, I think, and great to see Šorm of the Czech Republic make that final as well. There we see confirmation of that full result. Sweden's Carl Bengtström leading gun to tape, 45.92. Trevor Bassitt, the USA, second, 46.26. and that third automatic qualifying spot to Patrik Šorm, Czech Republic.
Here's a full list of qualifiers. Bengtström, very bossy in that second semi-final, but Jereem Richards looked so cool in the first. Is it going to be the Trinidadian's day? Pavel Maslak has relinquished the title that he won 3 times in a row. Maybe it's the turn of Jereem Richards. We shall see.